Hello, knife people. This is Max here. I bet y'all thought he was driving. We've been on eclipse watch, but we ain't seen nothing. It's cloudy and raining here. Today we're gonna look at this knife here. A Cheetah 6.5 Bonestag. We're gonna look at it up close in a minute, talk about the details. First I want to show you my golf cart here. We use this thing more than any vehicle on our place here. We haul everything on it. Fertilizer, you name it. Mostly what we haul on it is dogs, as you can see. Okay, let's look at this knife more in detail here. This is the box that come in. 6.5 Bonestag Cheetah. And there's the model number, 6.5, 111, 1.5 stainless steel. January 12 of 21. Okay. Very pretty knife. Like it a lot. I told it a lot. Okay, let's talk about it. The handles here. Case designates the first number of the model to the handle, and 6 is jig bone, and 5 is stag. So in this particular handle, they made a new number, 6.5, because this bone has been worked to mimic stag. And why did they do that? Okay, and Case was using sandbar stag from India on their high-end knives, and in 2002 there was an embargo on that stuff and they couldn't get it. So they decided to use the bone they had and work it and jig it and color it to mimic stag. I think they've done an excellent job. These are very popular, very beautiful. I think they've done an excellent job. Now these knives, they're gonna run $10, $12 more than 15 maybe, more than a regular bone, jig bone, because of all the extra work they have to put into it. They flame these to get these colors here. They use a flame and torch it. And this jigging here is really deep and intricate. So all that extra work costs us money. So these Bonestag knives are gonna be between $10 and $15 more than a regular bone handle knife. Okay, let's look at the blade here. Got a swing guard on it. Sometimes these knives are called swing guard knives. Case calls them a Cheetah. This pattern's been around since early 1900s, and Case made them up to 1980. And after 1980, they stopped for a while. They started back in 2002, and they made them till like 2022. And since then, Case has cut back on the patterns they use in their handle families, you know. So they haven't made any Cheetahs that I know of since 2022. Maybe they'll start making them again. Maybe they'll bring them out in a vault pattern or something like that. But right now, if you can find a Cheetah, it was made before 2022. Okay, let's look at this handle here. They made this stag very thick. I mean, this Bonestag very thick. I'll show you. I got a Harvest Orange Cheetah here. We'll compare it. See how much thicker it is? Now this is the same bone, just work different jigging, different color. Now, I always like to show this knife here because this is my favorite knife in my collection. So anytime I can put it on camera, I'm going to. They made this stick for two reasons. One, a stag handle knife is thick, so they made it to mimic it. But I think the main reason, these deep jig grooves, if they put them on a thin bone, they would go all the way through. See what I mean? The same deal, they make a valley jig bone knives, and they're the same way. They're thick handled, or the jigging will go all the way through. Okay, let's talk about the blade design and the size. This is a big knife. This is not a pocket dropper. It's a little bit bigger than a trapper, and it's just a tad bigger than a 75 Stockman. I have one here, the one I use on the farm. We'll compare it to that. Handle's just 1/8 of an inch longer according to the specs, but looks pretty close to the same to me. Blade's practically the same length. At first glance, you'd think the blades were the same, but they're not. If you look real close, the swedge on the clip starts after the nail nick on the Cheetah, and the swedge on the neck, the swedge on this blade starts right above the middle of the neck. So they're made just a little bit different. This Cheetah has more of a Bowie style blade, and the 75 does not. They're made just a little bit different, but they're about the same size. Now this is a lock back, a mid-lock design. Okay, now I carry this knife quite a bit when we go out on the town, and I don't carry it to work or anything like that. I carry it as kind of to show off a little bit. I've got maybe 10 knives that I consider in that category of man jewelry, and I'll wear them kind of to spruce up a little bit. My wife's looking good when we go out, and I don't want to look like a slouch with her, you know. So let's see. This slip here I wear on my belt. I usually carry my tribal locks and my copper locks in this. I don't usually carry this knife, and I'll show you why. There's so much of it sticking out here, I'm afraid it might come out and lose it. I sure don't want to lose my Cheetahs. So I don't wear this with this knife. This here goes on your belt like a gun holster. And I usually tote this knife in this sheath, like this right here. I have toted it in a regular sheath. This is a medium case sheath. Fits perfectly. You don't need the large. The large sheath is for folding hunters and hammerhead lockbacks and stuff like that. And a lot of times I use this sheath right here. This is what Case calls a soft leather sheath. And I use it in my front pocket like a slip. It's real thin, real soft. And I'll have this in my front pocket as a secondary when I tote a Benchmade and a Spyderco modern knife. Okay, let's get a good look at it here. Okay. This is the end of the show today. This is Kaylee here. She's gonna say bye. This is my oldest dog, my granny dog. Of course, this is my youngest one right here, chewed my fingers off. I'd like to thank my Mrs. Driver on the camera there. She's doing a good job. See y'all next time.